Hi, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today, we'll be taking a look at a Sinn 556A that was generously lent to me by a fellow member of Portal Satova. This watch is the quintessential Sinn in my opinion, and it's the watch design that first pops in my mind when someone mentions the brand. In both design and execution, this watch is as German as a watch can be. If you had to describe this watch using a couple of words, you would say legible, efficient, high quality. Nothing else needs to be said. This is very close to what I would consider a perfect everyday watch. The size is moderate at 38.5, and thanks to the lug-to-lug of 45, it wears great on a smaller wrist, while the thickness of 11 makes it sit on the wrist balanced and comfortable. If you think the size is small for someone with larger wrists, you would be wrong, as the all-dial design and the oversized markers and hands really give it presence. Also, thanks to the way the case is sculpted with a lot of straight surfaces and the sharp edges, it catches the light, making the watch appear even larger. The finish of the case is satin brushed, a great choice that looks less boring than a bead-blasted finish, but also handles scratches much better than a polished watch would. It also makes you think this thing would actually look better after it gets scratched up a bit. This size and comfort, combined with the fact you don't have to worry about putting a scratch or two on the watch, makes you want to wear this every day. The 20-bar water resistance means you actually can, as you can even take this diving with you. The dial is a thing of beauty. Black with extremely contrasting markers and hands, and the well-known 369 markers not only looks good, but is as legible as a watch can be. The hands match the style of the markers perfectly, and although officially not too short, I wish they extended just a little bit more. The dial makes you stare at it, just drowning in it, and the impeccable quality means you will not find a piece of dust or lint to ruin the perfect blackness. The lume used is a Superluminova C1, and although it's not the most potent lume available on the market, thanks to the ample amount of it used on both the hands and markers, you will always be able to tell the time on this, regardless of the lighting situation. The flat crystal with AR coating on both sides means you get to see the dial in all its beauty, as the crystal literally disappears in most situations, and you feel like you could reach inside and touch the hands. Sadly, this invisibility of the crystal comes at the expense of possible scratches forming on the outside AR with time, and I would gladly exchange a few reflections for a scratch-free crystal with inner AR only. But that's me. I know most people prefer double-sided AR like this watch has. The date is moved at 4:30 as not to ruin the 3 o'clock marker, and is done in such a discreet way that you mostly don't notice it when you're trying to tell the time at a glance. And in my opinion, that is how a date should be done on this kind of a watch. Almost unnoticeable, but it's there and you can read it when you need to. To make it more German, the date is printed at an angle on the date disc so that it appears perfectly horizontal on the dial. One of my favorite details on this watch, and one that makes me wonder why more manufacturers don't do it. The crown is at 3 o'clock, and it has to be one of the best crowns I have handled so far. The screw-in is better than any other watch I handled, including the Omega Seamaster 300 that costs way more than this. I don't know how they did it, but it has set a new benchmark for me, and one that will be hard to match. The watch has a sapphire exhibition caseback, and behind it beats ETA 2824-2 in the top grade version, meaning the best ETA can make without going through the COSC certification. The movement is beautiful to look at, and thanks to the size of the watch, it doesn't look too small, like it does on so many watches today. For those who don't know, it beats at 28,800 bph and comes with both hacking and hand winding. Then we move on to the bracelet. On paper, it's as perfect as the watch. Solid links, solid end links, and a milled clasp with a safety latch. The bracelet matches the style of the watch and is very comfortable. However, there is a little detail that ruins the experience. It's the safety latch on the clasp. This has to be the worst safety latch I have handled in my life. I don't understand what they were thinking. Don't think it's sloppy and that it opens accidentally, On the contrary, it closes with a nice click and sits firmly in place with almost no play. Then what is the problem, you might ask? Well, if you look closely, there is no indent on the clasp for your finger or fingernail to fit and catch on the latch to open it. And since the latch sits so perfectly flat with the clasp, you cannot open it from the top, but have to resort to picking on it from the side. It looks ridiculous as you're trying to open it, and it makes taking off the watch a frustrating experience. And I really don't have large fingers, so I can only imagine how someone with big stubby fingers would open it. I know I make myself sound like the safety latch is a huge deal, when in fact it's not. And it's true, it's not that bad, but when I compare the attention to detail Sinn has given to the actual watch, it makes the latch problem very weird, like the bracelet was done by a different company altogether. However, even with this latch problem, this has to be one of the best executed watches I have handled that checks all the boxes on what I love about a watch. It has really made me fall in love with it, and I will have a hard time sending this one back to its owner. Well, this completes this week's video, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe by pressing this button right here, and until the next video, bye.